Greetings and salutations. It's Saturday, October 19, and it's time for cleanup. We've been away for a couple of weeks, and in that time we've had a major snowfall that has finally melted, more of it, most of it, and dried up. So today is an opportunity to rake the leaves. As you can see, looking at all the other houses around here, everybody's raked their leaves because they're neat. And I don't know, when you plant trees so that you're in a forest, somehow removing the leaves seems unnatural. But it is time to remove the ones that are going to blow around and just generally get ready for winter. So you can see there's a lot here. There's also, because of the amount of snow we had a lot of broken branches. And here's a really good example. So I have leaves to rake and things to prune. And because we haven't been here in a couple of weeks, we've got plants to put away. The hanging basket, this one is always a challenge. We always forget to water it. And the nice coleus that eventually failed when it went below freezing for several days. That was a nice one in this one, and also in here. Let's just go in the backyard and you can see the extent of what we need to do. Greetings and salutations. I've taken the lock off for the winter. It just works better that way. I don't want to be fumbling with a key and a padlock when it's minus 30 and looking to get in the backyard. So in these beds, before we left, I removed all the tomatoes, all the vines, but there's still garlic in here. So I want to get the rest of the garlic out, and hopefully it's survived quite well. It hasn't rotted because it's been very wet in September. Oh, here we have some snow. Great. And it is indeed, it's +8 today, and it's been above 0 for several days now, but it just hasn't been conducive to melting. In preparation for fall, I do this every year at the end of the summer. I've got into habit now, let's just go down here, of oiling my boots. And after walking around in the summer and moving hoses and having them get wet, the leather tends to dry out. So what I've done the last several years now is oil them. And I just paint on olive oil, let it dry for a day, and away we go for another year. So I did my boots, and just as an experiment, I did these gloves. They were so hard that they were hard like plastic. So this is really an experiment with these because, where is it? The right hand is the one that's in trouble here. See, I do have a hole in here. But I'm going to use these today and just see, since I've oiled them, just how much they soften up with use. So, oiling of the boots, oiling of the gloves. Here's one vine I did not get to before we left. Oh, we were in Italy, and one of the things that we ate was the flowers from squash. And they are dipped in a tempura sauce and then fried. And these vines have always provided limited fruit, but lots of blossoms that just never set. So this coming year I'm going to harvest them, and then we're going to do this tempura. So here's the backyard. It's actually, there are less leaves here than the front, but it certainly does need a clearing out. Oh, all the dead flowers here. The deck needs sweeping. The chairs need to put away. These flowers need to be, I'm not sure what to do here with the goldenrod. If it stays upright, it's good for the birds in the winter, but it's just a real drag to try and clear around here when you have these broken stems. So I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. And however it works out, you'll see in a subsequent video. Down here, it'll be tomorrow, not today, but in here we have azaleas, dahlias, and cannelillas. And so these bulbs, corms, need to be dug out, and then all this plant growth I would just throw back on the ground in this bed, which has worked out very well. The bed is in very, very good shape. I may do a bit of weeding. You'll see weeds like this. Where is it? Yeah, somewhere in here. Hang on, where is it? There we go. I can pop things out like that just to get rid of them. But weeding is not quite my main goal today. Down the back, this is where I had potatoes this year. They did okay, but just okay. I think for next year I'm going to try something different. I'm going to establish a trellis down this area, and we're going to plant vines and grapevines for winemaking grapes. And we'll just see how well backing this wall faces southwest. This is southwest, so we have ideal sun, and since I removed some of the big branches from this tree, we should get enough sun in here this year. So I'm going to try that for 1 year as an experiment. And so this will be wine producing grapes here, and up the arbor, up the pergola, I may introduce Concord grapes, which are good for making jelly. The grapes that are here currently, I'm not sure what version or what variety they are, and they're not that great for eating. Here's another example up here. I go up this tree of where the limb has shattered from the weight of the snow. See, the leaves hadn't fallen yet, so the snow stuck to all the branches. And there are many trees in this area that are in the city, actually, that have been broken because of the heavy snow. So that's a branch that is going to be eliminated at least to there, and we'll see how far we get. So that may be later today, but certainly leaves are the first thing. The apple tree did quite well, and now what I need to do in here is that I need to select the best part of the growth and secure this down to here. And I'm hoping for next spring we will have finally apple blossoms. For example, this branch coming straight out, that one's going to go. And we'll see how we do here. So that's the goal for today, is leaves, pick up any branches, and those will go in the chipper shredder, and get this yard ready for winter. So the next video that I show of this should demonstrate a much neater garden than it is now. Even though in nature nothing is quite as neat as humans would like to have it, and I certainly would like to not make it neat as a pin. That's all for now. Greetings and salutations.